Attention, bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn. So please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, Yodelers. We are the Matterhorn Yodelers. I'm your host today, Japheth, with
Jackie.
And
I am TikTok.
thank you, Peter. And we also have
Father Yodeler. Wind up your brain. We got.
and with that 40-year-old reference.
I know, right?
We are going to do a movie review on Return to Oz. Since, Wicked is this big film that's coming out in November, the last part. There's a buzz about Wizard of Oz, and even Disney's posted a documentary about the Dorothy's shoes or the Ruby slippers being stolen, and that breaks down the whole case on that. So if you're curious about that, that's on Disney. It was kind of interesting, the story. I think one point the guy who stole it, they thought they were real rubies, and then he gets them. He's like, "What the heck is this?" and then they got pulled over, and so he ended up sticking the shoes in his pants. So whenever you see the ruby slippers, just know that it's somebody's pants. And the police pulled them over the night of the robbery and weren't looking for them.
Right.
But it's funny how close they were. And so, so that's out there. But Disney had also bought the movie rights to the sequel books.
Walt Disney, actually, I believe it was Walt Disney who actually purchased the movie rights.
And it would make sense because this movie came out in 1985, and they buy the rights in advance. I mean, like Black Cauldron was bought back in like the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is they're pulling from the next two books. I think, I don't know whether 9 or 11 books. I can't remember how many.
Lot, but...
There's quite a few where he built up this whole universe, and so this is with the Return of Oz, and I think it's an Ozma of Oz. Those are the two books that they pull from to make this movie. This movie came out in
the Ozma, the 2 seconds of Ozma we get.
Right. It's The Return of Oz came out in 1985. It bombed.
It had that. Watching the movie, the first thing I thought is, it does feel like a 70s or 80s movie. The filming technique, the type of film they used, and so on. It has a very 1980, 1970 feel.
Right, you could put it next to Pete's Dragon, and it has similar quality. Like film. Not the best.
I was thinking you could put the lines up like Freddy Krueger or something like that, know, like it had that like dark vibe. I'm all like, this is getting dark. Well, at the first half, I felt like the first half was like super like dark, and I was just all like, dang.
And I don't think, I think Miller, who took over from Disney, his son-in-law, he produced it, and I don't think he caught on to the idea that when Star Wars came out, people wanted positive films. This is not a positive film.
But take it into the context of other films. You have Labyrinth that comes out.
Yes.
You have like The Never-Ending Story.
Yes.
You have Dark Crystal. But
those are kind of like fun. They have fun music, and I think the music was lacking.
I don't know. I thought David Shire put some spin in. The rag music was okay. It was limited.
I think
there was a lot of quiet
was low for this movie.
Well, they didn't even come half to what they made the movie with. So, I mean, it really struggled. It just never clicked with the audience.
Had they made it a musical, it would have made oodles.
Well, but that costs money.
What I was reading was Disney was losing faith in the director.
They did because of going over budget.
Yeah, and it wasn't George Lucas had to save the director.
Yeah, word of mouth from him and Spielberg and Coppola vouched for him. And, when you got some big hitters like that, people are going to listen.
They listen, but Disney should have listened to themselves.
And basically, George Lucas says, hey, if it doesn't work out with him again, I'll step in. So George Lucas almost directed this.
Yeah, speaking of George Lucas, there's Willow from that time period, too. So there is a dark theming of this kind of thing.
Same villain woman.
Is it the same woman?
Yes, it's the same woman. The bad woman in both are.
She's a witch.
Yep.
So yeah, it just never hit, but it does have an occult following.
Yes,
it's interesting.
It's kind of like Tron. Tron didn't make money, but it had a cult following.
It made it to the theme parks.
How so?
In Paris, it made it to the Return to Oz's Emerald City made it to the Storybook Canal.
Oh.
At the finale of their Storybook Canal. They only just recently took it out. But it's been there since Paris was open. But they only recently, within the last, I think it was 3 years, just took it out.
Because everybody had forgotten. Like, what's that?
I think they put Frozen in or something like that.
Yeah.
What
can we get exchange? Oh, yeah.
Well, I think because the idea was that they wanted to put an American fairy tale in there, and Wizard of Oz was the only one they could think of.
That is really the first true American, fairy tale.
Yeah. I grew up watching this movie a lot. For some reason, as a kid,
this explains so much.
I watched this a lot. It was one of my favorites. And any of my friends, I'm like, oh, have you seen this movie? And they're like, no. And I'm like, I need to watch it with you. It was one of those movies.
Need to watch it with you.
And it's Monty Python for boys, back in the 90s.
So were you that person that would watch it, but you weren't watching the movie? You were watching them the whole time?
I was enjoying the reaction, what is going on? And I think I just enjoyed that feeling.
Did you like the movie? Can I put moisturizer on your skin as you watch this?
You have a beautiful neck. You want to see my closet?
Whoa. Too far. I think I just enjoyed people's reaction. Another movie that people question and that I kind of enjoy exposing people to is Princess Caribou.
Oh, yeah.
The movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a weird movie, but you're just
it's weirder than this?
I think it's Princess Caribou's better than Return to Oz.
I would probably quality-wise, yes. But
all right, before we go into the story and we kind of have fun poking at it, our classic deconstruction of it. Jackie, is it a yay or nay to see?
Oh, yay. And invite me to watch
so I can stare at you and invite you to my closet.
I'll bring the moisturizer.
If you can just record yourself watching it, that's fine.
You know what this movie needs? Jackie watching me.
This really is like a Halloween episode, isn't it?
All right, Father Yoder, yay or nay?
I would say generally nay. But if you're a student of film and you want to compare good movies, bad movies.
It's a kid's scary movie.
It is a scary movie, as opposed to the original Wizard of Oz. That is not as scary. Although I remember being terrified with the flying monkey scene.
That's a pretty horrific scene, watching Scarecrow getting torn to pieces,
That didn't bother me. It was the flying monkeys.
Flying monkeys, that's too far.
That was...
Person being...
it's a scarecrow.
Is it really a person?
He had it coming.
Ask Frollo.
He had it coming.
I think I think the original Wizard of Oz, that type of scary was a more honest scary than the scary that Return to Oz was.
I mean, it's a dystopic film.
Yes.
And that's just brings you down already.
My word watching it, the word that best described my feeling during most of the scenes was, this is unnerving. When I'm watching it, I'm feeling unnerved. Now, if you like movies that unnerve you, then yeah, you should watch it. Or if you're a student of film and you want to compare, why did Return to Oz fail when Wizard of Oz did so well? Well, they're so totally different.
Yes. I would say, if you're watching this by yourself, it's a pass. If you're watching this in a group, I would say it's a watch. I would put this under the same classification as Black Hole.
Okay. Oh, Black Hole's worse.
Well, but in the sense of like, you will enjoy this movie if you're watching it with a group of people and you just want to laugh at a dumb movie.
I don't have the same feeling.
I don't classify it as a dumb movie.
I give it a yay, and I just don't think. I think it's easy to pile on this one because it wasn't successful, but just watching it without like going, it doesn't have the beauty of a pretty city. You're dealing with a society with a power vacuum with the wizard leaving. And it is a tale of, I mean, the original book is a political book with an allegory.
Yeah.
And then this, you're seeing what happens when there is a power vacuum and when outside forces come in and infiltrate. It's not pretty. Power vacuums are never pretty in society.
So if you want to watch a not pretty movie, then you could watch
I feel like it was just like, it's a different type of film.
It is a different type of film. I will say, Mother Yodeler watched the whole movie.
Wow.
And she stayed fairly engaged throughout it, so it can hold your attention.
My 5-year-old was like running around, and then she heard the word Dorothy, and she's like, "Is this like Wizard of Oz?" I'm like, "This is the sequel. Dorothy comes back, and this is what happens in the story." And she's like, "Okay," and then she was like hooked when we got to the witches scene. So let's get into the story. Okay, so this book, or this story, takes place 6 months after the storm, and Dorothy's back, but the family's concerned about her mental health because she keeps talking about Oz. You know, and we go back to the Wizard of Oz, and she just like, she starts talking like, "Oh, I just had this dream," but she, I guess, apparently believes it is true, that she truly went there. And you know, you're starting off the first 5 minutes where they're talking about electrical shock therapy because they're so concerned. And you know, like, it made me look up and we're like, what was, like, why did they do it? And they're like, well, they say in the movie, it's like, well, the brain is made of electricity, or it runs, so we're going to throw more electricity and maybe we might shock the crazy out of you.
And that was a legitimate thing that they did back in that time period of
and then they decided to lobotomize instead. No, lobotomy's better than
we know if we hit this part of the brain, we'll kill your soul. So yeah, they take her. It definitely has that. You know, it takes place in the late 19th century. So it's probably like that crash around 1896 or something around there. And so like it's tough in this rural part of Kansas, and they're trying to rebuild and there's no money, but you know, they still take her to get, you know, help because they're really concerned for her. And she finds this key and she goes off and like, it's from Oz, see? And even the mom's like, nah, it's just part of the old house. But yeah, she gets taken to this I don't know, this doctor's, I don't know what this was. It's like, come into our house.
Come to our house of horror.
It looked like a mental institute.
It did.
Yeah. And so yeah, she's, you know, they're very nice. Like, it didn't seem like,
I don't know, the lady did not seem that friendly, nice.
I think that's nice for that time period. I don't think any of the ladies were probably very nice back then.
The lady was giving like evil nanny vibes.
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't. It didn't really like. She wasn't like outwardly mean. She'd be like. She wasn't like Happy Gilmore, where it's all like, "Can I trouble you for a glass of warm milk?" And you have like Ben Stiller, mean character.
And I think it was done on purpose. They were trying to leave you questioning: is she or isn't she?
Yeah.
Bad. And I think they wanted to leave it kind of up in the air. We don't know.
Well, and you're viewing as from a child's perspective, you're like, who is this?
Right.
Like, there's that eerie question. But as an adult watching, you're like, she seemed perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think so. I think as a kid, I probably would have been scared because she's not talking or she's not warm.
Yeah.
It's a doctor. I'm scared as an adult, so.
Right. Like, I go to the doctors with my kid, and they're already like, you're going to give me a shot. You're going to give me a shot. I don't want to be here. Like, my youngest goes into the room, and she knows the room, and she's like, you could just see everything elevate. She's like, what are we doing here? You're going to stick something in my ear, or you're going to hurt me with a shot in my leg.
And they wonder why my blood pressure is high every time I go in there.
White coat syndrome. Yes. Okay. So, yes. Dorothy is what is it? She is accepted into this place where they're going to perform this therapy. She meets a little girl there. Right before they perform the procedure, there is a blackout with lightning, and then this little girl comes in.
It leaves a lot of interpretation as to like.
Yeah, the little girl actually visits before.
Yes, there's gives her a pumpkin. That's right.
You don't know if she's a resident there
or just
some
help.
Kind of apparition.
Oh yeah. If you look at the story later on, because is she real? Is she not?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that gives some food for thought. I never thought about that right there.
Oh yeah.
So during the blackout, at that point, the little girl that had given Dorothy the pumpkin had tried to get her out because you need to leave now, to try and save her from this therapy. And so they leave here during the middle of the storm, and they end up going down to embankment. The scary lady, as we had said earlier, was chasing them, and then the little girl that had saved her gets swept away in the wash, and Dorothy goes in there
to
after.
Rescue her.
Yeah. Well,
or to try to rescue her.
She tried to, then she saw the scary lady and was like, I'm going to run away, and jumps in the water.
Exactly. And then somehow the branch breaks away. Dorothy finds kind of like a raft to like
wagon,
or just some sort of flat platform that she can go in there and it floats. And it's kind of the parallel to the Wizard of Oz. It transports her to Oz, and she wakes up with a talking chicken named Bellina.
It was her chicken from back home.
It was. Somehow the chicken was with her.
That was one of the least unnerving things was the talking chicken. That actually added comfort because it seemed to be a relationship that
Jack Skellington didn't bring you comfort.
Pumpkinhead Jack.
Pumpkinhead Jack.
No, Jack Skellington. Oh, it's not Jack.
It's not Jack.
It's not the Pumpkin King.
It's not the Pumpkin
King. It was inspired.
Jackie did her homework. He stole all my good facts.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll go.
You're fine. No, it's good. It saves us time. I do a lot of talking in these episodes. So yeah, she wakes up and she's in the deathly desert. When she was in that scene, it just reminds me of a kid going like, the floor is lava. Yeah. We can't touch the floor. It'll turn us to sand.
And I like how they did apologetics for the first movie where they go, oh, we flew over this
last time.
So I didn't come to the desert.
But it was comforting to see Dorothy not get upset by most any of this. She would always reason her way out of everything and say, okay, I just need to step on the rocks to get out of the desert.
There is a saying, I forgot what she said, but she said it twice. Like when they hit a bad situation, it's like, it is what it is. It's kind of like how we're saying, it is what it is, but it's more of a like, it's happened, let's move on. And it's probably a cultural thing of like, it's no point in like sulking in it. Let's just like pick ourselves up and move forward. And so that probably must be something from the book and that time period and that struggle.
Well, and also, back at home, she lost her home in the tornado, and her family was probably like, it is what it is. Let's carry on.
It's definitely part of that culture, that American like frontier culture, away from the city.
A lot of Little House on the Prairie. So, there's a lot of that.
She looks straight from there.
Yeah. Yes. So we get introduced to these faces in the rock, and they report to the king gnome. She has a chicken. That's where I was going. Oh, that's weird.
It was fun. That part was fun.
This is a child's imagination.
It was, yes, it definitely was like there's these rocks with faces are scared of a chicken, and I'm like, why are they scared of a chicken? We'll find out later on.
Yeah.
And
we find out in the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
It kept the story. It kept you into the story.
Yeah, because they're like, why are they so scared of the chicken? And even like as you meet the Mombi, like, does he know that she has a chicken? You're like, all right, the chicken is important. So
more important than hey.
More, yeah. Boat snack.
Right.
So yeah, Dorothy, they get out of the desert, and then they find the yellow brick road, and they find that Oz is destroyed. It's in ruins. People are in statues.
She sees her house.
Oh, that's true.
That she does see her house.
The one thing I wish they would have done is that if the inside of the house was black and white, that would have been.
Ooh,
that would have
been cool.
That would have been perfect. She looks into the house and it's black and white in there. That would have been perfect.
That would have been a really cool thing. It's kind of like with the Great and Powerful Oz, how they turn it into like a standard view as opposed to widescreen until you get to Oz, and then you get the CGI color like blast.
I wonder if they were had to avoid upsetting Warner Brothers or MGM on their.
Well, they showed the ruby slippers in the movie.
They paid a lot of money for that.
That's what I thought. I thought they weren't allowed to do that.
They paid a lot of money for a rock king to wear ruby slippers. So we'll talk about that later. So yeah, Dorothy, she gets there. She sees the lion is stoned. The Tin Man is stoned. There's these headless statues. And then there is...
the rollers?
Yeah, Dorothy meets TikTok and switches them on with the key that she received.
TikTok was another breath of fresh air. Probably my favorite character.
He was probably the best character in the movie.
Best character. I mean, Dorothy's a great character.
She's adorable throughout the whole thing.
But as far as
the
other characters,
the Ozian character, I think TikTok was the best one.
Mm-hmm. That was never unnerving to me.
The wheelies.
Yes.
Yeah, the wheelies come out.
Watching that as a kid scared me.
I
was afraid of the wheelies. Like, I would skip
Man, I wish I had known that. Boy, the things I would have done to torture you. Wake up and I have these giant wheels and like, I've come for you. Princess Mobi wants you. And then go around your room.
I've got rollerblades on my hands.
I was actually terrified.
We can't grab you because we got rollerblades on our hands, but we're gonna get you.
I'll get you dirt marks on your shirt, and it's white, and you're gonna be like, no, you ruined my clothing.
It's true, though. I would have to skip through the wheelie part. I was terrified.
Unnerving.
Yeah.
Unnerving.
That's got this word. It is unnerving. You're watching it, and you're like, even the actors, like when they catch one, it's just like, oh man.
Now watching as an adult, no, I was not terrified as the wheelies.
Hey Peter, you know what we need to do for Jackie's birthday at 5 a.m? We show up on wheelies and be like, happy birthday, Jackie.
You gotta do the laugh.
Yeah, so the Wheeler is caught and tells, we get the story about the Gnome King captured Oz, and everyone is turned to stone. That they have to go to Princess Mombi to know where the Scarecrow is. And he seems very deathly scared of her. Like you see how they picked from like the Wizard of Oz and kind of like it's a new group of villains and henchmen.
Right. They kind of did like a Narnia thing where time has passed.
And time's different from, it's been 6 months in your world, but it's been a long time here.
Right.
Dorothy meets Princess Mombi. She's kind of got this, like, she's playing like a harpsichord or something like that.
At first you like her, and then she gets creepier and creepier and creepier as it goes on.
Yeah, she seems angelic, where she's almost like an angel,
princess.
like princess. Yes. Very nice. And just like,
a very nice atmosphere. Yeah.
And then and then you get to the head scene. Like the different heads in there. I was like, whoa, Disney. You have no problem. Like, we're just going to have these different heads from people we've chopped off, and this will be the princess. It
gave you that unease, but then it gave you that, like, what's going on? I want to know more, and that's how it
does. It does draw you in. You're like, there's something going on here that I want to continue going down this rabbit hole.
Because she understands in Oz, things are different. Things, there's different creatures, there's different things. So when she sees it, she's like, okay, where are we going with this? I don't know if you're good or bad.
This is probably the height of the movie, that center part where it's most interesting, the action, how they're trying to escape, everything they're doing there. TikTok unwinding, all of that is very interesting. Dorothy having to sneak around.
Yeah, it does. It is probably the height of the mystery and the magic of this story. Because she just takes her head off and then puts on a new one and then basically captures her because she wants her head for when she's older to use it, and that's where she meets the Pumpkinhead named Jack. And then through him, Dorothy goes like, hey, you need the powder. Yeah.
It's true, though.
And it's voiced by Jim Henson's son.
You can do the fun fact.
So Jack in this movie inspired Jack Skellington in The Nightmare Before Christmas. So they are the same.
And it's voiced by Jim Henson's son.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I saw that in the credits. Like, oh, okay. I mean, it made sense. I mean, the Henson Company's all over this movie, so.
You can see it, yeah.
Well, the whole, like, the hands talking, like, that whole scene, like, that's straight out of Labyrinth.
The Henson Company was big in the 80s.
Yep. They were trying to expand.
Yes, out of the Muppets realm.
So Dorothy gets basically the next task. Like, she's told by Jack going, hey, you need to get the powder of life, in order for us to get out. And then, as she's going into, what is it, Locker 31? Is that what it 13? Was? 13?
I don't remember.
I think it may have been 31.
I think it's 31. And I think it's that kind of opposite of 13. Yeah. We're in this
like
reverse world. Yeah. And she gets the powder and the witch wakes up, and my daughter was like, she was like, whoa.
and then all the heads start screaming.
Yeah.
Dorothy Gale!
That's a cool scene, I must say.
You're running out. You're like 10, and there's these heads screaming your name. That's unnerving.
This movie, like, that scene was like, it's a level of scary, but not like too scary.
No, it's not terrifying. It's unnerving.
Now, if like the head started like popping out and chasing her,
yeah,
you just see 30 heads rolling towards her. And that's so Dorothy gets the powder and they.
I was just waiting for her to like trip the headless body that was trying to go get the head.
Whoop,
trip you. She's like stumbling to find a head to put on herself. She's just all like,
it's kind of, that's where Hocus Pocus got their head. Is that what you're thinking of right there? So in order for them to escape, they create this, they call it Gump. This head that was mounted on the wall, and they attached couch and palm fronds.
I love it.
It's such a kid. Like I look at it as like, oh, it's kids' imagination creating a story of like, how do we get out of it? Let's create a monster. But how do we do it? We need to get the life powder. Like the story is written like a kid would tell a story.
I love the line from the one Moose. He was just like, oh, one day I was just in the woods and then I heard a big sound and now I'm here.
His little one-liners popped up. They were pretty funny. He's got the
best one-liners. He's like, I hate my life.
I'm stuck here. And then we get introduced to where Ozma's trapped in the mirrors. You get this like little ghost spirit kind of thing floating around.
Go away. You go away.
Stop hunting me down. Haunting, like we must keep you a secret. This we'll talk about you later in the movie. We'll talk
about you in the last minute of the movie.
Yeah. And as they're flying to the Gnome King's mountain across the desert, Gump breaks, and I like how like the couch lands and she lands on it and does like a little bounce. It was adorable. Yeah, it was like, like if I threw my kids down, I could see my daughter like falling down, and I was like, that's cute. That was fun. It goes along with that. The Gnome King meets Dorothy, and like it just.
I love the voice actor for the Gnome King.
Yeah, I think it was really James Earl Jones first. I was like, is this James Earl Jones?
Excellent.
The movie does drop kind of here.
It does, because you're dealing with a villain that is a rock.
Well, it was him transforming. That was the weird part.
He was becoming more human.
Yeah. You didn't know.
You didn't know what was going on till later.
Well, until they started going in reverse.
Well, it was because they don't explain that. Yes. So they're like, it's like, oh yeah, it's just a face. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait, is that the actor just standing there?
I was one of those like, did they run out of time?
Exactly.
Did they need to? It's kind of like She-Hulk, where like we can't show this with CGI because we ran out of money in our budget. And you're like, did this happen?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, did they just run out of money and
we can't do any more stop motion? We need to get this guy in makeup, and he's gonna like, hello, I am the Gnome King. I still have red eyes because they can't put makeup there.
And I'm gonna wear ruby shoes.
Yeah, the ruby shoes. Yeah, but at least we get more backstory. He's all like, what's his motive? And he goes all like, well, if somebody took something from you, don't you think you have the right to take it back? And he goes, well, they took those stones from me, so I should have it back. And you're like, okay, I guess you're right, but you really need a villain to really not like, and
dang you, villain, for giving me reason.
I guess I can't hate you so much. And that's kind of where, like, what is Dorothy's, like, mission? It's always to get to the Scarecrow, right?
Yeah.
And free your friends. But she's given this test, like, Dorothy needs to select a real item. Yes. And I was kind of, like, lost with that. I was like, I don't understand. But it was kind of cute. It was good to have TikTok, where he used his brain, his thought power to get them in there.
Watch me do it, and you will have an idea. What not to do.
And then he disappears. Like, well, that didn't help.
there was a line that that Dorothy says about TikTok, or Jack was all like, "Why is he still talking if his brain's not working?" And she's like, "Oh, people do it all the time."
Yeah, that was a great line. And then we get to see the King Gnome. He has his ruby shoes. Did it bother you? You're like, you got this rock. He's no longer like. He's more human, and he's just like, let me lift up my rock robe and look, I have ruby slippers with a little bow.
I think it was weird when he crossed his legs. That part kind of lost me.
He's like, let me get comfortable in my rock farm, cross my legs.
And he's like tapping his foot.
This is the reason why they had me dress up, so that I could show off my shoes.
Yeah, Mombi shows up and warns the king about the chicken. Oh yeah, we didn't mention the chicken like disappears when Gump breaks up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoilers, Dad. Jeez.
They show you if you're watching the movie. They show it.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah. Yes. Her head pops out of his eyes, out of Jack's eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's not a spoiler. They spoil it in the
movie.
They
give it a little move. Yeah,
yes.
Okay. What is it? Dorothy finds the scarecrow in the green ornament. It was kind of cute how she's like, it's like the leap of faith. Yeah. Like, I'm going to close my eyes and I know I'm true and I will find it. And I was like, I thought that was really cool.
Cute.
Yeah. It's a really cute moment.
It's how a kid would do it.
Right? And you're like, I don't know which one. You imagine like a little kid with the cup of Christ and Indiana Jones. Which one is it? I'll just close my eyes and spin me around and I'll find it because I'm always right. And that's what was going through my mind. Yeah. And
but if you're getting excited because the scarecrow's in it, don't. It's not Ray Bolger's.
It was
Halloween Town.
Yeah.
It's more a symbol. He moves around, but he doesn't do anything.
He's got a crown.
Yes.
He does. He fumbles around looking for like the different green ornaments. They realize we got to find the green ornaments and then we say Oz and boom, they come back to life. And that takes away the Rock Kings.
A little more in the scarecrow, but yeah.
They don't.
He didn't help them.
No.
And that was the whole purpose of finding him was like, we see him, he'll help us. And the truth was he wasn't really going to help us. But that kind of goes along with like the arch theme of the allegory with it. Is that you've always had the ability inside of you with Dorothy. Dorothy didn't need the ruby slipper. She didn't need the scarecrow. She always had the power. And Dorothy's supposed to represent the American people and the political system. And so it kind of like goes along with that same story where we're retelling it, where Dorothy didn't need this to begin with. But then Belinia, the talking chicken, shows up and the pumpkin head as the King Gnome was eating the characters. I'm done playing with you.
I'm gonna eat you now.
I kind of got Star Trek 5, The Undiscovered Country. Yeah. Is that what it is? Number 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where he's all like,
it's the odd numbered Star Trek.
Yeah. The one where he was like, I need your spaceship. And he's like, why does God need my spaceship? It kind of got that feel like, I'm done playing with you. I'm going to eat you. And from that point where he was going to eat Pumpkinhead, he eats the couch, but he was really happy about that. But as he was eating the pumpkin head, Jack, Bellino got scared and dropped an egg. And then we get the answer.
The egg drops into the Gnome King's mouth. Oops.
And it's poison. I love how the Rock's like, eggs are poison.
Yes.
Eggs are poison.
And we get this really like morbid meltdown of the Gnome King.
It's kind of like Indiana Jones, but not so gross.
Not so gross because it's just
more
a rock
claymation.
Yeah. So if you're afraid of claymation, don't watch this movie.
Kind of looked like claymation in the other ones. It was more waxmation.
Yeah, it was waxmation that were humans. This is a rock head. Man, not so connected.
It's like we feel more connection to the villains being, bad German, Nazis than the Rock Gnome King with them wearing slippers. So Dorothy then gains control of the ruby slippers. She uses the slippers to escape and free her friends and restore the city. Dorothy meets Ozma and frees Ozma from the mirror. Kind of like the Mickey Mouse kind of like cartoon.
It's like, because they want Dorothy to rule. It's like, I can't rule. And then Ozma appears. I will rule. Like it's like, okay.
What happened to the Scarecrow? He was ruler.
Oh, he didn't do a good job.
Boy, yeah, he didn't do too well in that power vacuum. If I only had a brain.
He had a diploma.
So you're saying the piece of paper doesn't mean anything?
Yep.
So Dorothy leaves Oz, wakes up in the bank of the river with Toto finding her. I like how the dad's like, we almost gave up.
That's what he said.
It was like, oh, good thing you didn't. The clinic had burned down and the mean lady, Mombi, she got arrested.
I was like, on what charges? All the evidence was shut down.
Fire codes.
Fire codes.
It always gets you. Your taxes and your fire codes. When this movie finished, I was just thinking, I look at The Wizard of Oz different, where it's complete dissociation and psychology. Like before, I always saw The Wizard of Oz as just like a dream. like, oh, I bonked my head and I went into this world and everybody made it in my dream. And in this, it was like, oh, this is complete dissociation with trauma. And so she's going through a traumatic event. And so she creates this world to escape reality because it is so hard. And this movie shifts and affects the other movie. And I think that could have a negative effect in bringing that dark tone.
I think she did get electrocuted.
You think so?
Yeah, because like as 3, 2, 1, and the light spun out, like, and that's when she sees the girl again or whatever and takes her away.
The point of trauma right there, and she dissociates and the journey begins.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was my thought.
That's boring.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, and it for me, I'm like, oh, if Disney made more stories, I don't know if it would just be kind of like, oh, I'm watching this person that can't be in reality just go and create this fantasy world with everything around her. And I was like, I don't know if that's as pleasant as what The Wizard of Oz was, where it was kind of like, oh, I had a dream and all of you were in it. You know,
I had a dream and the scary nurse was taking her head off, and the doctor was a gnome king who's allergic to eggs. Okay, yeah, the therapy didn't work.
Yeah, and there was that kind of ending where she's in the mirror and she sees Ozma and the chicken.
Yeah.
And she's like, Mom, look, and she's like, shh, don't let them know you're crazy. And I was like, that's another thing, is like, if your reality's not matching, you better start playing along, because it takes a while. Like, what was it? I had a dream kind of like this when I was like, I was working at Disney, and I remember like waking up, and it was my apartment that I was living in Orlando, but I look over and there was a different woman in my bed. Like completely different ethnicity, different hair color. And I'm just like, all right, stay calm. What are you doing? And you're like looking around at all the picture frames, and I'm all like, I am married to this person, but I have no emotional attachment to this. And we're like, what do you do? And like, I'm trying to play this game of like playing with, trying to play sane, because you don't want it, like the worst, you don't want to be called like crazy. And then you go down the spiral of destroying whatever's going on, your reality that you just walked into. And I kind of felt like that's what, Dorothy did wrong. Obviously she's only a little kid, and she's like, oh, that's real, this world I went to, So kind of like, I think that was a negative aspect of this movie, was that kind of psychology, kind of
I don't know.
Darkness.
I think you're looking way too deep into this movie. I think it's a lot simpler. It's just a kid and imagination.
There is that.
That's boring, Jackie. So boring.
All right, let's give it Mickey bars. Hey. All right, Peter, we'll go with you first.
I'm going 1.5.
1.5 Mickey bars. So Mulan is better.
Yes, Mulan is better than this movie, without a doubt.
Father Yoder's
hey,
better.
Dad, Freaky Friday. Or turned off.
Okay, if it didn't follow Wizard of Oz, it's probably a 4. But because we have the Wizard of Oz, it has to be no more than a 2.
Yeah, it's
a sequel. You have to compare it, and you go, we're looking for wonder,
I get
and
Disney
we're getting
Channel
unnerving, vibes. And there's no music, and it's just...
It had potential.
It definitely had potential.
Every movie has potential, and then it
goes. There were definitely some awkward spots that could have needed improvement.
Didn't take Dorothy very long to get to the Emerald City. This movie, she got to where
she wasn't singing or dancing along the way.
That's so that makes the journey longer.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's the expectation of the
people. You
have
to learn the choreography of the song. You gotta get
everybody knows the Wizard of Oz. They knew it, and what did Disney say? Yeah, it's the Wizard of Oz, but no music, and that's why nobody went. They go, well, I want the Wizard of Oz. This is what I grew up. That's what I love.
Whimsical,
I want that. You know, it's like we're gonna do Star Wars, but there won't be any Wookiees or spaceships or
Jawas.
You want an Ewok movie? We'll do an Ewok movie.
We're gonna do it all in another desert planet.
I was like,
desert planets are bomb in Star Wars.
I was like, if George Lucas directed this, because he almost did, where would Harrison Ford fit in?
I don't think so.
No.
He'd be the Gnome King?
No.
Palpatine would be Palpatine. Somehow I'm the Gnome King.
So be it, Dorothy. I think we've made the movie much better.
Well, you could have had Michael Jackson in there because, you know,
he was in The Wiz.
The Wiz, Captain EO. You know, he had a relationship with George Lucas, so you could have had Michael Jackson in there.
Oh, Harrison Ford would have been Gump.
Yeah, that matches his personality.
Hey, kid, this ain't that kind of movie. All right, don't worry about the palm fronds. Like, this is going to be a bomb. I'm here for the paycheck, and it's a George Lucas film. I say yes. I'm getting paid. Don't worry about the life powder expiring. Just put it on. How many life powder Mickey bars?
This movie's hard because I love this as a kid.
You have responded really well to this as we've talked about it.
And there's a nostalgia for me.
Would you say you watched it more than the original Wizard of Oz movie?
Yes.
That's what I was going to guess for you.
This explains so much about Jack.
This movie is kind of my type of movie that I like.
Peter.
I'm sorry. That was...
there is a quirkiness about it.
It's a little quirky and
it's dark.
Yes, and
Jackie's what's another edgy movie that you would compare this to, that you like?
Well, as far as
I think Hunger Games, it has that kind of like survival but like dark theme.
I was just curious because you said like this is the type of movie that
you
like. So,
for example, like rom-coms, right?
Sure.
There's certain, like the movie Chocolat, I love. Simply Irresistible, which is like a magical crab is in this.
En poisson.
So it's like, I like these like off movies that have these like weird like quirks about them. And I'm like, this is interesting. And it gets people questioning it. And you're just like, but I enjoy that.
A little magic that creates a little mystery.
Yes. And
okay. Yeah,
I was just curious.
Do you like Narnia?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen Narnia. I was just kind of curious if this falls along with it.
Yeah. I mean, Narnia is more well put together. But so overall, I'd probably give this a 3.5.
Okay.
I believe you.
As an adult. As a child, I probably would have given this like a 4 or 5.
Whoa. Okay. I had no idea this movie was so big with you.
I do remember her being into
You're closer.
Yeah.
And like I left when she was becoming like a teenager.
Well, and like we had the DVD. Did we have the VHS? No, it's just the DVD.
Just the DVD.
Well, and you know, I had a DVD player in my room, and so I would watch a lot of movies.
Yeah, you had a video game, like, TV in your own room with, like, different...
That happened when I was 16, okay? That happened later.
Yeah. I had a brother who didn't clean up my room.
This is true. I did not. My wife could tell you.
All right, I'm going to give it 2.5. It was a surprise for me because the last time I'd seen it, it was at my uncle's house when I was 5, and that witch scene with the heads was absolutely terrifying. And I couldn't remember the rest of the movie because I had lost interest in it because it was just way too weird for me at that young age. For my daughter, it totally sucked her in. Watching this film.
She stayed there till the end?
She watched the whole thing. And then she's like, oh, I want to watch The Great and Powerful Oz. And even that one, she's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere else. She's really into Wicked. She doesn't even watch Wizard of Oz, I think, all the way through. But she likes this world of Oz.
She likes Hocus Pocus. She likes Nightmare Before Christmas. She likes
Burton films. She's like, I want to watch Dumbo, and I put on like Cartoon Dumbo, and she's like, no, the other one, and you're like, you're dark.
She likes the creepiness, the odd.
Yeah, she likes darkness with light hitting the eyes. She likes Burton films, but yeah, so I give it 2.5 because I was watching it and I kept my interest. You know, I looked at it with the lens of this is 80s dark films, like Never Ending Story, kind of Gremlins. There's a creepiness. Yes. You're not really comfortable throughout the film, and it has that kind of feel throughout. And it creates that mystery of like, all right, I want to see how this is resolved. Like, looking back, you're going, yeah, there's so many parallels to the first film, but it's just in a different type of setting. So yeah, 2.5 for me.
Where were you, Peter?
1.5.
1.5.
He's low.
2. I was a 2 because you have to compare it to the original.
You can't
and
compare
then
it to
2.5.
And it's a victim of comparison, for sure. By itself, it probably would have been better. Yeah, I kind of equate it to like you have Star Wars, and then you have like the prequels. This kind of was more prequel. Like you got more backstory and more magic with it, and more off the wall kind of story than you did with like Wizard of Oz, where it's all like, oh, this is fun songs, and we're on a mission to get the witch.
But if you're into movies and into comparisons, watch it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to
watch it with people, watch it with other people. It's a better experience.
Did you watch it with other people?
No.
Nah.
But I was watching it going, this would be fun to watch with somebody else.
Just come over to my place.
I know. Next time.
Just come on over. Escape the house.
Yeah. I need to do that more.
You do spend a lot of time there.
I spend too much time at my house.
So yeah, let us know what your thoughts are with the Return to Oz, the movie. You know, is it, you know, an occult film for you? Why is it an occult film? Why does it draw you in? You know, I learned a lot from Jackie why it was meaningful or what she enjoyed, you know, and when you watch it with her, just bring some moisturizer. So
and it might be a fun Halloween movie for family.
I think so.
It's a great movie for Halloween.
If you're looking for something original and it's kind of spooky, but not like terrifying,
not bloody.
This could be a fun film, and you can always just test out whether your kids like it or not. You know, if it catches them, because it is unique, in that it's not like your typical YouTube kind of story that they consume all the time. So with that said, just follow us on our social medias and give us your input on this movie. With that being said, Auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember, before your bobsled comes to a complete stop, to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember...
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.